Hello friends, this is Terry from Genkigamingtv and welcome back to Yokai Watch Y Academy episode 15. Impact Final Answer Quiz Competition Jinpei vs Kirigakure or Shogeki no Finalu Nase Kuizu Taiketsu Jinpei Tai Kirigakure. So guys, I want to start things off by thanking you for watching the video. This episode it just feels a little bit out of place. Like the beginning part, the quiz show thing just seems a little bit off. But apparently it was the Waigakuin's Kuizu Research Club. Apparently that's a thing. It's kind of just one of those things that it's like, why is there a quiz research club? It makes no logical sense. Like, who researches quizzes unless they're a part of a quiz show? But this episode's later part does give us a little bit of additional information about the YSP watches and a little bit of extra interesting tidbits about Ronto, about Uchikumazu, aka that little bear girl, which is, give me a moment, I have her name wrote down, Kumako Kumoike, which, why did they make Uchikumo so adorable? Or Uchikuma so adorable? Ironically, her name is really interesting when you get down to the etymology. Kumako comes from the kuma part comes from bear, and the ko part comes from like ko, like for a child, like kodomo. But the first part of the episode is forgettable. I'm going to say it like that. The only thing you guys need to know is that Jinpei really wants the money so he can pamper Inra Sensei, Natsuki, by having someone give her a massage and by sharing an onsen or a hot spring bath with her. So his motives are not fueled by anything other than his motives. But we did get to see Motaro actually answer some questions correctly, which was pretty good, and Motaro was actually pretty viable to the success of this episode. I think this is one of the first episodes where I actually felt like Motaro fit the YSP Club dynamic, even without having a watch. Like, I felt like he was more than just comedy relief during this episode, which was really good because it actually built upon the fact that, hey, he can actually do stuff and is actually kind of smart and kind of logical in some sort of sense. I mean, you don't really miss anything from not watching the quiz show part of things, but the second part of the episode is really where I feel like this episode becomes worth watching. I mean, the quiz show part does have some funny references. Like, they reference a bunch of strange things, and they reference stuff from previous episodes. Like, they reference stuff from the Broken Clock episode, the Gesunoto as well. There was even Tomomichi-kun reference. Kyodai Salaryman Miyazawa-san cameo as well. And I think, yeah, Broken Clock was like fully referenced in this episode. Also, we have the first occurrence of someone using a technique that was used by someone else. the enemy of this episode, or the Onryo, Uchikumazu. Technically, Kami Uchikumazu, which we'll get into here in about another minute. Because I want to just reflect on the quiz show for just a moment. It does give us a little bit of insight in the fact that not everyone at the Academy knows that the YSP Club is a thing. This quiz show is basically about them to like the highest degree, but they're still shrouded in a little bit of mystery. Just enough of a mystery that would allow them to operate how they are. If Junpei didn't spend a good portion of the episode making jokes and kind of being a joke, this episode would have been seen in my eyes as a little bit lighter, but still valid towards plot. Like, you can have jokes, but that armadillo thing was so stupid. Like, do we really need him to do that? But then again, he jokes so much that if he didn't joke, I would have to say, is the voice actor sick? Did the world end? Nah, the world didn't end, because we're going to get Yokai Watch 2021, which is going to be like Mega Man. And I'm exaggerating on that fact, but let's get back to the story itself. So they go and see our lovely principal, because why wouldn't we want another episode with him in it, Kinya Daioji. And I'm also skipping on the fact that Kyuubi's head was up his butt, and because that's just stupid. Like, that question that was asked wasn't really necessary. But we're going to continue on. I was also really surprised with how Ronto was reacting, and also Ronto placed the bug basically into Motaro's pocket. Or at least what I believe is a bug. So now he has ears on the YSP Club. And WWW, which is like internet lingo in Japanese, like, I think it's used for laughter, because it looks kind of like you're laughing. Kind of like the whole UWU, like for uwu. It kind of looks like a laughing or smirking face. But through the logic of our intelligent and useful character, we find a trapdoor after Junpei's YSP watch interacts with the ground to a certain degree. Like, he took 4 steps, and where he stopped, the watch began to glow, and then a staircase descended, and then we get to see basically the research and like the technical stuff going on underneath of the school, or the academy, with Komako. And Motaro complains about not having a watch, but the rest of the gang are too busy looking at prototype watches, or what I'm assuming are prototype, even though I didn't hear the word prototype. And Motaro got a fart watch, because that is how this anime's logic actually works. Give a man a valuable gift, he becomes an asset. Give a man a gag gift, he becomes a bigger joke than what he was earlier in the episode. But as this continues on, Junpei presses the nose of one of the bear robots, and then they became god form, and then they basically sucked up all of the YSP watches except for Junpei's, which was really interesting. We've never seen a boss strip the ability away from our YSP cast before. We've seen bosses interact, or Onryo interact differently, But God Uchikumazu, which is a little bit hard to roll off of the tongue, was a little bit different. Basically, all of the Uchikumazus fused together, kind of like a Megazord from Super Sentai or Power Rangers, which was actually a little bit surprising, even though I felt like it was coming. I mean, I've not seen the previews. I don't watch the previews for the next episode. Rarely. So I like to keep it a little bit of a secret to myself. But Gorlomi and Wild Boy show up, and they get hit by Clock Lady's time slowing effect from the god tier Uchikumazu. And then Shishio's fire attack was used to combat Wild Boy's salvo of bullets. And every time I see Wild Boy, I think of Sabo from One Piece fused with Pyodramon from Digimon. Like a pure DNA fusion type of ordeal. But by the power of a poop metal being shot from Wild Boy's gun into Kami Uchikumazu's mouth, the mechanical mecha-bear was taken down. We get a flashback from Kumako and Ronto is very good at social distancing. He is an expert at being distant and cold to everyone. And also, he has a face mask. And if I had a face mask as cool as Time Skip or Time Reverse Ronto, I'd probably wear it all of the time. But at the end of the quiz show, Junpei answers incorrectly. And here's the plot twist. I think he did it on purpose. And you guys are probably looking at me like, why would he do that on purpose? Junpei is smarter than what we want to give him credit for. I'm gonna say that. Because Kinya basically told him that stuff about YSP is kind of a himitsu, or a secret. But Ronto answers correctly because of having Motaro bugged. And the quiz show guy at the end of the episode falls over. It turns out Nayu was controlling the situation this entire time, that the little alien girl has been manipulating us this entire time. And we get a really cool final scene of Nayu and Ronto, even though Ronto doesn't know Nayu is around. But it's cool enough that it foreshadows stuff in the future. Overall, this episode is a very solid B. It's nothing out of the ordinary, but the Kumako stuff really helps to bring the episode to a higher level and make it more or less enjoyable to watch, because otherwise I am not watching a glorified quiz show episode where it doesn't continue the plot, it doesn't build towards the future. I mean, certain OVAs where they do stuff like this are fun, because they're OVAs, they're online video animations that are made as extra content after the show that usually share additional information. But this was all just a big flashback that was designed to kind of build and establish the plot and some of the information for newer fans who are just getting into the episodes. Or at least that's what I'm personally assuming. But that's it for the episode review. Have a fantastic day. And I hope you all are doing well. And if you enjoyed the content, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if that's what you do. Bye-bye for now.